Michael and Megan right now here with the Vancouver float. I mean, this is beautiful. It really feels like a walk through the Columbia Gorge. So can you guys tell us about all things about this float? How did you come up with this beautiful design?
Definitely. So this is Vancouver's second participation in the last 30 years. It was all done by volunteers. It is called A River That Runs Through Us. It represents the Columbia River, a shared natural feature between Oregon and Washington. It celebrates that we're both neighbors. There's flowers that are grown in downtown Vancouver. There are elements that have been reused from last year's float, so it's a really good depiction of our community spirit and what Vancouver really is about. It's gritty, we work hard, and we're all mostly volunteer driven.
Awesome. Now, Megan, my understanding is that this is all local grown, local made, handmade, all put together. So can you talk on behalf of that a little bit?
Sure. It's I've just always really supported the local farmers, and they've done so much for me. I get all emotional, and so it's just an opportunity to really support them. It's just like, okay, how can we go so big, and just really, when everyone really needs it, and just so the local flowers have always been a big part of what I'm about, and the Oregon Flower Growers Association has, a handful of farmers. Peter Court Roses, as an example, I'm holding their Lysianthus, and they've been like family to me. They've just been so supportive over the years since I worked at Sammy's Flowers, 20 years ago, and so yeah, and it's just such a lovely, we have such lovely inventory here and material, and there's no reason why we shouldn't be, just celebrating it all the time. So
there's over 10,000 flowers on this float. How long did it take to put together?
It took about 48 hours because they're all fresh, freshly cut. So we had a load of volunteers, about 30 volunteers rotating for the last 48 hours to piece this all together. And it really has been a night and day project. So it all came together, and due to Megan's expertise, everything is lively and well watered.
It's crazy to hear that you mentioned some of these are even from your own backyard.
Yeah, so the rose geranium on it was actually grown in downtown Vancouver. And some of the elements like that's right there. And some of the plants we have some plants that will be reused in some city parks in Vancouver as well. So a lot of these elements will be reused in the community.
Yeah, that's amazing. You even mentioned to me that some of this was actually reused, refurbished from last year's float, which was your first year back in the Grand Floral Parade.
Right, yeah. So the dried elements on the float were actually dried flowers from last year and reincorporated.
Yeah, the peonies that we had on last year's float are on the fish. And so they were ground up, and then these dried ranunculus actually down here were also grown by Peter Court, and they kind of make like a beautiful paper mache. We just went for it. I think we ground up over 100 bunches of just dried ranunculus, and then hundreds of stems of peonies. So.
And then this is just your second year back in it after you mentioned 30+ years. What is it like to be back?
It's great. I mean, Vancouver needed some representation.
You're only 30.
I'm only 31. So basically my whole lifetime. So I'm happy to be a part of it, and I really think it's prideful. Folks are really excited. It's a showcase of the community spirit, our pride, and showing our partnership across the river.
Awesome.
It's exciting to think about, just going a little bit more in this direction where everyone's really just, growing from their gardens, like at the, in the beginning of the parade and the festival, just to keep it, like we can figure out how to keep everything really strong and beautiful.
Yeah, this is such a unique float. I love that everything is so local from the core of it. It's beautiful. Well, thank you guys for chatting with us. I do want to give a friendly reminder to everyone that this year the parade is actually exclusively for the first year ever in downtown Portland. It's starting right here on the waterfront. That's where you can see the parade kick off at 10, and then it will be taking the 2-mile loop right here around downtown Portland. You don't want to miss it. Of course, we'll have live coverage here starting at 10, but we'll have all the behind-the-scenes access all morning long right here until then. But for now, I'll toss it back to you in the studio, Deb.
All right, Mackenzie, thank you. And like she said, if you can't make it out to the parade, you can still watch it live right here on Fox 12 Oregon. It again starts at 10 this morning. Kimberly Moss and Andy Carson will be your hosts. Tony Martinez will be out there on the parade route with all of you.